What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 23 The Show Diamond Dynasty video. In today's video, we got a tutorial for all of you beginners. We're going to go over how to buy and sell cards on the Diamond Dynasty marketplace. So if you need a refresher or you're new to the game, this video should help you understand how to purchase cards, how to sell cards, and everything in between. Now, if you guys are new here, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button if you're looking for Diamond Dynasty content. Whether you're going no money spent, you're looking to make your team better, you're looking to understand this game mode, I got you covered all year. And also, if the video helps you out, please do me a favor, make sure you go ahead and click that thumbs up button. So we're going to start with the very basics here. We want to go to the marketplace. You can tab all the way over to the shop, which is going to be found in the right side of these kind of four sub menus here: home, play, collect, and shop. Or you can actually just hit L1 once and that'll take you backwards, and boom, here we are in the marketplace. So there's a bunch of different types of cards that you can buy and sell. We're really going to focus on MLB players, but the concept, the way you go about doing it for equipment, sponsorships, stadiums, everything is all pretty much the same. So if you go into MLB players, this is the marketplace for all MLB cards. And this is great because you can basically see every card that's in the game, whether it's a card that you can earn from a reward, a card that you can get from a pack. Everything that's able to be sold on the marketplace can be found here. So you can tab over from MLB cards if you hit R1 on PlayStation, right bumper on Xbox, and you can see equipment from this menu. You can go to sponsorship, so you can tab through all of those options from this screen, and they're going to match with all of the options you see on this screen. If we go back into MLB players, you're going to want to use your right trigger button or R2 on PlayStation, and you can tab through all of the pages, and you can see as of right now at launch, we're at 114 pages full of cards. Then as you go from page to page, you're going to see the overall goes lower or decreases, and you can get all the way down to commons and bronzes and silvers. Like, you can pretty much see everything. Being that there's such an overload of cards within this marketplace, there's a filter option, of course. So you're going to hit square on PlayStation. That would be X on Xbox. There's a name filter where you would just simply type in the name of the player that you're searching for, and that will help you find it. The other one, the one that you're probably going to use more often than not, is going to be under filter. And then when you choose that, you have all types of different filters that you can use to find a specific player. So you can sort by position, and if you tab over with your D-pad here, you're going to cycle through all of the positions on the field. It does automatically select it once you kind of start going left or right. To remove that check mark, you just simply hit square again or X on Xbox. You can sort by team, so if you wanted to look for a specific team or a player from a specific team like the Rangers, boom, you have that. To deselect it, again, hit square. We have different series. So series are live series are like current day players who are actively on an MLB roster. And then there's other types of series that we're going to have, and there's cards out right now. There's more that will be added. You can think of them as just various programs that they have within Diamond Dynasty that give other types of players cards. There is one brand new filter in the game, and it's set. So you can cycle between core, and then you have set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, and so forth. I'm going to put a image on your screen here that can be found within the game right now that further explains it in a little more detail. We'll probably break this down and kind of go over it in another video, but being that we're in set number 1 and it's the very beginning of the game, we don't really need to worry about this filter just yet. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go over buying and selling cards, because I'm sure that's the main reason why you're here. So we're going to use our filter, and we're going to sort by Cardinals, and we're going to look at all of the Cardinals in the game, and the screen looks similar to what we saw. It's just narrowed down to a specific team now. We can still go by page here with R2 or right trigger on Xbox, and you can see there's only 3 pages worth of Cardinals where we saw over 100 because it was every card in the game. Now, I want to give you an example of trying to buy a card that you just simply cannot afford. So we'll do that first. We'll go to Nolan Arenado here, and if we select this card, it gives us options to see our active orders and our completed orders, which we'll talk about in a moment, but we also have these buy-sell options. So there's a left column and a right column, and there's a lot of information on here. I know this might be very confusing to those of you that are new to the game. Those that have played it before, you kind of understand what's going on. The first thing to note is the number that are owned. So if you don't have any that you own, you obviously can't sell any. And if it says that you own one but sellable is 0, that could be a card that maybe you put into a collection which made it non-sellable. So there is a situation where you can own a card but still not be able to sell it. Now, right above that, assuming that we had 79,625 stubs, because that's the cheapest option out there right now that somebody has this card listed for. If we wanted to simply just buy it right now at that price, again, assuming we had enough stubs to do so, we could do that. And if I tried to do it, it's going to tell us we're broke, we have insufficient funds. For the most part, I don't think you should ever use the buy now option, because the beauty of the Diamond Dynasty marketplace is that it allows you to set your price. Now, if somebody's not willing to sell to you at the price that you set, that's a you problem and you'll have to adjust accordingly. But if you go right back to that buy section and skip past buy now at 79K, you have the ability to create a buy order, and this is what you're going to do to set your price. So if I wanted to, for example, pay 75,000 stubs for this card, or at least attempt to get it at that price, we would go ahead and type in 75,000 and we would go to finalize order. Now, I want to stress we don't have enough stubs to make a purchase at this amount, so it's going to give us that same message saying that we have insufficient funds, but we're going to give you an example of setting a buy order now on a card that we can afford. So let's go down to Jordan Montgomery, a card that's much more in our price range right now, and you can see that there is a way, if we go to buy sell options, that we could simply purchase this card for 250 stubs. But as I said, I don't think you should ever use this option, or very rarely use the option, because we have the ability now to say, if we want to set a buy order or create a buy order, let's say we want to spend 225 stubs, and it's not a big difference, but the point here is that we can get it for 25 stubs cheaper. And in the long run, when you're trying to do live series collections or just in general purchase cards, if you can get them for cheaper in the long run, it's going to save you over that period of time. So I'm always willing to pay less than I really have to. So if we go to finalize order and put the 225 in there, you're going to notice on the right side under sellable, this is where it pops up for somebody who might be willing to sell this card, and they could now simply go to sell and click sell now at 225. That would sell the card to me. And if you're wondering, yes, you can buy and sell from yourself. There's a 10% tax on all transactions, so you never want to do that, or you're basically throwing your stubs in the gutter. Now, I actually want to go in and cancel that order, and as you might notice, somebody put up a buy order for 226 stubs, so they are outdoing me right now, and whoever tries to sell this card, if they're willing to sell it at the most expensive sell price, is going to sell it to that person versus me. But when that one for 226 stubs gets sold, then mine would be next on the list, and then hopefully somebody would go in and sell it to me. To cancel an order, we're going to go back out to this menu, right? We're still filtered within the Cardinals, and we can still change our filters by hitting square, and it gives us those options. But I'm going to go ahead and just simply press X, or A on PlayStation, sorry, A on Xbox, and it's going to give me, again, my active and completed orders. Remember, I showed you this earlier, so I can go to active orders, and I can see this Jordan Montgomery here. This is going to show you all of the cards you're trying to buy and all of the cards you're trying to sell, and I'm going to select the Jordan Montgomery, and I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel this order. I no longer want to try to purchase it at 225 because somebody one-upped me. Now, if I go back into this card and go back to buy sell options, in just that small period of time, somebody likely sold that card or this card to that person for 226. So you want to look for a middle ground really between the buy side and the sell side to get the best value, because I could buy it at 252 right now, but I want to one up this person that's willing to pay 188 stubs for it. So I'm going to go one more time to buy, create buy order, and I'm just going to go like 191. This is a great practice to have. I know it's kind of scummy sometimes, but I typically do it between like 5 and 10 difference, 5 and 10 stub difference. And I'm going to put 191 there, finalize order. And again, you're going to see my order now go up to the top. You can always put an order that's lower. Like if I wanted to put one at say 175, I could. Is it guaranteed to sell to you at 175? Probably not. Maybe though, you never know. Prices fluctuate on cards all the time, but at the end of the day, you get to create whatever price you're willing to pay for a card. It's always just up to the seller on if they're going to do it or not. And there's not really a way to snipe in this game, so nobody's going to be able to like pick and choose. You know, nobody can sell this card to the people who have orders in at 174 until all of the other orders at 191, 188, 185 are either canceled or completed because somebody sold them at those prices. So now let's go over selling a card, and obviously to sell a card you have to own it. So I'm going to use Jordan Hicks as an example here. We're going to go right back to buy sell options, and as I explained a little earlier, you can see under owned it says 1 and sellable it says 1, so we're good to go. We can sell this Jordan Hicks card. Now if I wanted to, I could sell this to somebody right now for 46 stubs, and if at any point in this video I said coins, my apologies. We're bouncing between Madden Ultimate Team and Diamond Dynasty, so I'm going to get my lingo confused a little bit over the next month or so. But if I wanted to sell this Jordan Hicks card for 46 stubs, I could. That would be the stupidest thing in the world, and a lot of people do this stupid thing all the time, and that's how you make stubs in this game. We'll talk about flipping cards for stubs and making profit off of them as a method to basically go no money spent in future videos, so stay tuned for that. But the smarter thing here, if I want this card to sell and maximize my value for it, is to put a sell order for a number that's closer to what we see on the left-hand column. So right now, the cheapest one up that's available to purchase is 210 stubs. Now, I could list mine for 220 stubs and hope that somebody buys the one at 210, 211, 212, 213, and so forth until they get to the orders that are at 220. Could happen, not guaranteed to happen, but if I want my card to sell, I could list it at like 205. So we're going to go to sell. Again, don't make the mistake of selling now at 80 stubs. We're not maximizing our profit here. You're going to go to create sell order, and we're going to be willing to, like we said, sell this for about 205 stubs. There is that 10% tax, and if you hit your R2 button on PlayStation, right trigger on Xbox, it tells you how much the seller will receive. We are the seller in this situation, so after tax, we get 184 stubs back. We're going to go to finalize order. We're going to click OK, and now if you look in that column to the left, the cheapest one that somebody can buy right now is 205, which is our order. And also notice that the own section and the sellable section both now say 0. If we back out from this menu and go back to our search, our filter results with just Cardinals, and again, we can always change our filter, and if we want to switch to another team, we can. By the way, you also can notice and probably have seen throughout this video that you get notifications when you buy cards and when they sell. So that Jordan Hicks that we just put up there, that one is gone. It's sold. So I'm just going to filter by Orioles, but I'm not really doing that for any specific reason. The main thing I want to show you is that if we go back now to any one of these cards, hit X on PlayStation, A on Xbox, we have our buy-sell options and then active and completed orders. If we now go to completed orders, you're going to see that Jordan Hicks that we sold shows on this page. And this is where you're going to see all of your buy and sell orders that have completed through the duration of the entire year. The game just came out last night at midnight, and we're already at 25 pages, which means we've been doing a lot of flipping, trying to make stubs doing that, and that's the #1 way to make stubs in this game is flipping cards. And you'll probably see, if you're doing it right here, your pages of completed orders be in the thousands towards the end of the year. So this is a great way to track or find out or see pricing and pretty much all of your data on there. And if I back out one more time and go to active orders, we can see all the orders that we actually have going on right now, whether it's a card we're trying to sell or a card we're trying to buy. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out here is when we put in a buy order, if you look at your stub count in the upper left, anytime you put in a buy order, your stub count is going to subtract. They take the stubs away from you right away as if the purchase is going to go through. If it doesn't, the only way to get your stubs back is canceling the order. Otherwise, your order will sit here. I don't think they expire after a certain period of time. At least last year they didn't. So if I wanted my 39 stubs that I'm willing to pay for this Zach Thompson back, I would have to go into active orders and then go down to cancel the order. So we select yes, and before we do that, notice we have 47,160 stubs. Now if we cancel it, our stub count goes back up, and those 39 stubs that we were willing to pay on that card came back to us. It went up a little bit more because I think it factored in that Jordan Hicks card that sold while we were doing all of these examples. But I do just want to show it to you live here. If we put in an order for like this Logan Gillespie card, right? We have 47,384 stubs. We're going to go buy sell options. We could buy it right now at 64 stubs, or we could put in an order and try to put one above or a few above the cheapest one available right now, which is that 26 stub offer. So we're going to go create buy order and just say we're willing to spend 30 stubs on this card. And if you look in the upper left now, they basically have taken 30 stubs away from our count up in the upper left, and if somebody sells that card to us, then we get it. If nobody does, we'd have to go in and cancel the order to get our 30 stubs back. That's pretty much how you buy and sell cards in Diamond Dynasty. Before we get out of here, there's two other ways that you can do it. You can find things on multiple screens. So if you go over to collect and then go to my inventory, this is a great way to complete collections or see how many cards from each team that you have. If we go into my MLB players, and by the way, you can notice here, there's equipment, sponsorship, stadiums. This screen pretty much mimics the marketplace screen that we saw. The only difference is this is everything that we actually own, but you can also see cards that you don't own. So if you look at the Orioles, Notice how all of these cards are dimmed out, and as we scroll to the bottom here, that one card that we just put an order in for, somebody sold it to us. So this card is brighter than all of the other cards, and it's a card that we own. So you can actually go right to your marketplace options from this screen as well. I selected the card. It gives me the option to view in market, and if we do that, it's going to bring us to this similar screen. It's filtered down just to this DL Hall guy, and if we wanted to put a buy, sell order in here, we're going to do the same thing. We can access our completed and active orders here. We can go to buy, sell options, and now if we had one, we could sell one. If we wanted to buy one, we can put in a buy order. We can buy it now, which we don't want to do, but I'm just showing you that there's other ways to get to this screen from, various screens. And if we go over to the Cardinals, I'll just tab backwards here. You're going to use L1, R1, right bumper, left bumper on Xbox to tab through the different teams. You can see we have a handful of Cardinals here. So we got 30 out of the possible 40 live series cards, and we can scroll through them. If you look in the kind of upper middle part of your screen, you're going to see live, and it says L2, R2. We can actually tab between live series cards, which are active players on the active roster, and we can go to flashbacks. So the flashbacks are various other brands of cards from a bunch of different programs, and these are going to be the better cards in the game, but you can cycle between those and see what you have and what you don't have. So a practice that I like to use when trying to complete a collection for a live series team is going to this screen and just going down to all of the cards that are basically not bright, the ones that I don't have. We'll go to view and market, and this one we could either buy it right now for 59 stubs, or I think I can get it for probably 7 stubs because there's 10 orders for 5 stubs up there right now. I'm going to go buy, create by order, put in my price. I'm just going to put 7 stubs, finalize order, and now you'll see our 7 stub offer is at the top. So if somebody wants to sell this card to us for 7 stubs, they're going to go ahead and do it. I know it's not a big difference. Like I said, 59 stubs versus 7 stubs doesn't seem like a world of a difference, but if you're trying to complete live series sets or collections or get all of the cards for a certain team at the cheapest price possible, this is the route you're going to want to take. That was the My Inventory section on this same screen under Collect. If you go to Collections, you can view all of the live series collections. You can see the various set collections, uniforms, unlockables, all that, and you can pretty much do the same thing. So if we go to live series, we scroll down to the Cardinals one more time here, you're going to be able to see all of the cards that we have are light and bright, and the ones that we don't have are dim. And if we go ahead and select a card like Jordan Hicks, there is one slight difference on this screen that we have to hit square on PlayStation instead of X, but it's going to give us that view and marketplace option, and boom, it's the same screen that we've seen a million times here. I sold the card that I used to own. I want to buy another one here, so I'm going to put create buy order in, and I'll put 55 stubs. If you look on the right column here, the sell column, you're going to see my order was in there at 55. It says quantity 2, which means somebody put one in at 55, probably right around the same time I did, and we're just going to wait for somebody to sell it to us, or we can be impatient and do the thing you shouldn't be doing, and I could go in and purchase it right now for 208, but we want to save. So I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully it helped out. If you got any questions, leave it down below in the comment section. My name is Popular Stranger, and I'm out. Peace.